Hey guys, long time no see on YouTube. So basically I wanted to make this video and just give you guys a few updates as to what's been going on. Yeah, just keep you guys in the loop with everything that's going on in life in general. Things with my stream, with me personally, with Method. The reason why there hasn't been any YouTube content recently is because honestly I just haven't really had that much time to do anything. Well, there's a few things. First of all, of course, World of Warcraft. You know, it's in a little bit of a dry period right now. There isn't a whole lot to do unless you're doing high level Mythic Plus, of course, which in itself is a little bit of a problem in regards to the first thing I said, which is time, of course. To actually be able to do high level Mythic Plus, you know, get yourself a good group and actually, you know, really push high keys, like the highest keys, so to speak, to be competitive, you kind of need to play the game a lot, right? Obviously, there's a lot of these groups that play in the game, you know, 8-10 hours a day. That, for me, is incredibly difficult to do right now because of everything else that's going on at the same time. That being said, we probably will start doing some higher level keys on the live game if it continues this way, but I actually have an inkling that I think the Battle for Azeroth beta is going to come out soon, which will obviously be provide a ton of content for the stream and a ton of content for YouTube and everything. But going back to my first point, guys, time recently has been a huge issue. Since the start of the new year, I've been working almost tirelessly on method related stuff. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the background, and I'm hoping to be able to share some of that stuff with you guys in the next couple of months via the method announcements. You see, guys have seen some of the stuff already. You know, you've seen the signing of our Heroes of the Storm team, for example. That was a couple of weeks ago. That was obviously a big negotiation, and really happy that we finally wrapped it up. Got a lot of hope for the team, guys. Very hyped for Method to enter the Heroes of the Storm scene. I think it could be one of the strongest teams in Europe, and I hope to see them at the Western Clashes and, of course, BlizzCon. Alongside, you know, several of the other Method teams in World of Warcraft, for example, right? Like our PvP teams and such. That being said, World of Warcraft is also a little bit competitive on the PvE side now in regards to the MDI, and I would love to see Method obviously have a team, at least one team, in the MDI competition itself. So we will try and make sure that happens as well. But yeah, we've been working on a lot of other stuff in the background, a lot of other teams and players we've been speaking to, a lot of contractual stuff. We've been working hard on our Gfinity rosters right now. So Gfinity is starting on March the 8th, I think it is, Season 3. And they've really stepped up this season, guys. 2 teams from the prior 8 teams have stepped out. And teams like Vitality, Fnatic, they're coming into the series. They're joining the series, you know, alongside the teams that are staying in there, like Team Envious, Epsilon. It's actually really ramping up, guys. It's the biggest competition, like eSports competition in the UK right now. So we're really excited to be involved in that. Other than that, guys, we've been working on a lot of other projects. There's been a ton of opportunities that kind of come up. We've been speaking to a lot of different partners. Hopefully we'll be able to announce some partnerships that are being made with Method in the near future, in the next couple of months. We have also been looking to expand our staff team in Method as much as possible. We have some great staff in Method already. Without these guys, you know, it wouldn't all be possible for sure. But we've really been looking to, you know, bring on even more staff. A couple of those people in particular, I'm really excited to introduce to you guys. I think we might have already introduced the e-commerce manager that we brought on. We have a huge focus this year, guys, to really try and, you know, fix. I say fix because, you know, I haven't been too satisfied in the past with how the Method merchandise has been. But we have a huge focus this year to really ramp up on the Method merchandise. We really want to get some cool products out there, guys. I've seen some cool designs already. You know, fixing our merchandise situation, addressing all the concerns there, and actually bringing out some really cool products that, you know, our players, our teams, and myself and you guys who support Method can actually be proud and really happy to wear this stuff. But we're making good progress there, guys, and with the onboarding of the e-commerce manager, again, I've got a lot of hopes that we'll be able to bring out some really cool stuff. There's a few other staff positions that we are looking to fill in Method, pretty important ones, which I hope to, again, be able to announce that soon to you guys through the Method channels. But overall, like I said, Method has grown a lot in the last couple of years. Thank you so much to you guys who obviously have supported that entire growth. And yeah, it's just getting to a stage now, guys, where we need more hands on board, and to take you know, advantage of all these opportunities that are coming up and continue the growth and success of what we've experienced in the past. And I'm really excited for 2018 when it comes to Method, guys. I think it's gonna be a good year for us, really good year. But yeah. So there's a lot of stuff we've been working on in the background. I guess I should talk about some other things. I guess I should talk about some stream improvements, guys. Okay, some stream improvements. So we have made a personal stream improvement right now, and that is we have actually upgraded the camera to the Cam Link. We're using the Elgato Cam Link. This is the Cam Link, guys, the Elgato Cam Link. Very small device. Ignore the chafing on the hands, too much gym. we have the little cam link here, guys. Basically what happens is you plug that into the back of your PC. It just plug and plays, and then it's compatible with, you know, a bunch of different cameras. So basically Sophia got me this camera for Christmas, the Sony FDR AX33, and I can actually show you guys this camera. So you're actually watching, this video is recorded on the actual cam link itself. So you guys can see the quality. It should be like 50, 60 FPS. I'm moving my hand so that you guys can see. I can actually show you guys just real fast right now the difference between the cam link and the webcam. Let me see. So this is the webcam, guys. This is the difference. This is my Logitech webcam with default settings. And if I disable the, again, if I do some hand motions, just so you guys can see. And then I go back to the cam link. So that, there you go, guys. We have the cam link and the webcam there. So actually, let me go back to the webcam one second. So I'm going to show you just going to show you guys what the cam link looks like for me from behind my PC. So going back to the webcam, if I turn it around. So basically, like I said, what you need to do, guys, is basically you plug the cam link into your PC, so you can see the cam link right there, and then you get a HDMI cable, plug it from the cam link into your camera, which is exactly what I've done, and you can obviously get 1080p 60 FPS, and you can see the camera right up there. You can see obviously the HDMI cable coming out the back of it there, guys. But yeah, this is the camera. This is effectively my webcam now, and yeah, I'm actually amazed. I'm super happy with the quality. It picks up every little detail. Better dust off my my hoodie here. So yeah, we've upgraded the stream in that regard. So we have a kick-ass webcam now, streaming at about 50, 60 FPS. I guess the next thing to actually upgrade, guys, would probably be my PC itself in some capacity, because as you guys know, the rating at FPS right now, it's still pretty dreadful. It can drop to below like what, 15 FPS at some points, especially in 30-man raids. So that's probably the next project, because we've kind of upgraded everything else that we can at the moment. So I just need to look at the PC itself. But other updates. So when it comes to, again, personal updates, guys, in regards to the gym, I have started working with a personal trainer about 2.5 weeks ago. And to be honest, like, I never actually thought I'd be someone who would work with a personal trainer. I don't really feel like I need it. You know, I know enough about lifting, I know enough about nutrition, and so on and so forth. However, as a lot of you guys know, my situation with the gym and everything kind of changed about 1.5 years ago when I broke my arm wrestling at DreamHack Summer. The gym has been quite difficult for me since then. It's been very demotivating for me, I guess you could say, in general, like going in and obviously seeing significant strength drops since breaking my arm, having a lot of pain in the arm when lifting. I kind of just wanted to get you know, a trainer on board, to have someone that I was accountable to, someone that could help me with motivation, and just, you know, generally someone to interact with when it came to gym activity, because I kind of felt things were getting a little bit stale for me, and I wasn't really feeling too much. So I think it's a really good, like, personal investment for me to just, you know, work with a personal trainer who can obviously then, you know, they can help me with my nutrition plan, they can make sure that I'm on track with lifting, you know, and everything and so forth. You know, basically having someone that you're accountable to, someone that kind of, you know, makes sure that you're moving forward and not just kind of staying stagnant, which is what I've kind of felt I've been doing for like the last 1.5 years. So right now I'm doing like basically, I guess you could say 2 days on, 1 day off, kind of split, with a total of 4 different days. We're doing vertical push-pull, followed by legs, followed by horizontal push-pull, followed by arms. So that's like the 4 days. I can share my workout plan with you guys in the, at least the first workout plan that I've been following for the last 2 weeks. I can share that with you guys in the comments. And when it comes to the nutrition side of things, guys, I am looking to lose a little bit of body fat right now. I think the first measurement, you guys might be surprised or not surprised to hear that my body fat was around 26%, I think, which is actually a little bit lower than I was expecting, guys, because like I said, it hasn't been the best of times since breaking my arm in regards to nutrition and everything. But I'm right now, what I'm interested in doing is, you know, just dropping the body fat a little bit. And so I'm kind of eating like a little bit of a calorie deficit right now. Again, I can share the diet plans with you guys that I'm following. Typically, I will eat the same thing every day on training days, and then I eat the same thing every day on rest days. You know, it's a different diet plan, but I'm actually quite disciplined, and I don't really have an issue with that in regards to eating the same food day in, day out. So that's working out pretty well for me. I think over the last 10 days or 12 days, I think I've lost about 1.5 kilos. So it's slow. We want to keep it slow, guys, because I am trying to, you know, I'm not trying to like drop significant weight. We're trying to do like a slow, I guess you could say a slow leaning process. But yeah, like I said, while talking about the gym, there's been a lot of issues still with my arm, unfortunately, guys. So basically, I broke the arm at DreamHack Summer arm wrestling. I went to obviously the emergency room in Sweden. They took x-rays of the arm and everything. They saw it was a spiral fracture. You guys can see the pictures of that on my stream, where you type !arm. They obviously told me, you need to go home ASAP, you need to get surgery on this. So I got surgery on it. They put a plate and screws into the arm. They stitched it back up. That was like the process at that point. So it's just been repairing since then. That was obviously, I think that the surgery was at like July 2016. So kind of around about March, was it 2016? Yeah, sorry, it was. So July 2016. So around about March 2017, guys, that's obviously been quite a bit of time since the operation. That was like, what, 8-9 months since the operation itself. And I realized, at that point, I've been trying to push through the pain in the gym. I've been trying to let the arm grow. I went to see a physiotherapist, someone who specializes in muscles as well, to take a look at the arm, see what was going on, see if everything was all right. They couldn't really see any issues with it, but I was still experiencing the same kind of pain in the gym, and it wasn't getting any better. So basically, I went to the doctor in March, and I told him about the issues I was experiencing, especially when focusing on any kind of upper body weight. So arms, shoulders, chest, even some back exercises. I was having huge issues with the arm. I can't even do push-ups, guys, without getting pain in the arm. I mean, I do feel it sometimes in everyday tasks as well. Like the ridiculous example I've given you guys before is like when you cross the arm over in like, for example, the shower to wash your other arm with soap, because you're extending the arm and pushing a little bit, putting a little pressure on it. It can feel like a stress pain in the arm, or when lifting like heavy shopping and stuff. But in general, like when it comes to the gym is just such an important thing for me, not just from like a physical aspect, but also a mental aspect, because outside of the gym, guys, I'm literally sitting at my PC 12-14 hours a day, 7 days a week. And although I only stream, like you guys know, I only stream about maybe 25 hours a week, I'm literally sitting here, and of course, I'm working on method related stuff almost the entire waking day, 7 days a week. So I'm sitting in front of my PC for such a long period of time that I do need that escape when it comes to the gym. The gym is something I've been really passionate about for such a long time now. And like I said, it's not just physical, it's also the mental aspect. I think it's a great tool. So, but going back to what I was saying, basically I went to the doctor in March, and they put me on the NHS waiting list at that point to see the orthopedic surgeon that did the original operation on my arm. Originally I got told this waiting list would be like, I can't remember what they said exactly, something like 4 or 5 months to see this particular surgeon. Now over time, this waiting list continued to get longer and longer and longer. So 4 or 5 months later, it's like, we can't actually see you yet. It's actually another 3 months, and this kind of thing went on and on and on until even now, guys. I think it was in January. I think this is probably like 3 weeks ago now. I think 2-3 weeks ago, I called them up, and this is after being on the waiting list for 43 weeks. 43 weeks on the waiting list to see the consultant, and I called them up, and they're like, "Yeah, it's probably going to be at least another 3 months." And so at that point, I was just like, "Nah, this cannot keep going on." Yeah, like that would be over a year at that point from when I actually first went to the doctor to speak to the consultant about my arm. And so I actually ended up looking up the private hospital, and I saw that the consultant who operated on my arm in the NHS, he actually works at the private hospital as well. And so I called up the private hospital, and I was able to get an appointment with them. Literally, I called up the hospital on Friday, and I was able to get an appointment with the consultant on Monday. And that's obviously for paying a fee. So I had to pay £200, obviously to go to the private hospital. But £200, and instead of just getting continually dragged along by the NHS waiting list and being told another 3 months, I was like, okay, yeah, absolutely, let's go for it. And so I went to go and speak to the consultant that operated on my arm at the hospital. It's a week ago actually now, only a week since I spoke to him, and we talked about my situation. I talked to him about the fact of process of elimination. Now I really want them to consider taking out the plate and screws that I've got all the way up the arm. And so we talked about that, and basically, the conversation was along the lines of, okay, we can take out the plate and screws, and we can see if that fixes your arm, but the risks are the following. First of all, it might not actually fix the problem, because we don't really know what's causing the pain in the arm. They took x-rays again, they couldn't see anything particularly wrong with the plate and screws. One screw did look like it's going through the bone into the other side of the arm quite a bit, more than a few millimeters, but he said that probably shouldn't be causing you issues. So basically, there's a risk that we can take the plate and screws out, and it might not actually fix the arm itself. The other risk is that he said there's about a 1 in 20 chance, so 5% chance, that they could operate on the arm. So they could cut into the arm, they could look at the plate and screws in the actual theater, and they could decide at that point that the plate and screws probably won't be able to come out. And for lack of a better description of this, guys. I guess you could say it's like a certain way that the plate and screws kind of get welded to the bone. That would be like, it would be too much effort or too dangerous to, you know, consider taking out the plate and screws. So he said there's about 1 in 20 chance of that happening. So that's about 5% chance right there. The other risks involved in the surgery are, there's, as with all these kind of surgeries, there's a 1% chance, 1% chance that you can obviously suffer from severe bleeding. But he did, you know, he didn't think that would be something that would probably occur, of course. But you know, he's got to make me aware of the risks. And then the final thing, which is the thing I've always been concerned about, guys. This is the thing I've always been concerned about in regards to getting, you know, surgery on my arm again. And it's the one thing they warned me about as well before I actually got the initial operation, but this, you know, that operation was required, is damage to the nerve. So there's a nerve that crosses your bone up here in your arm that basically controls the movement of your wrist and your hand. So like one of the first things they did when I came out of surgery and they came to see me and I'd woken up, was they checked if I could feel, you know, if I could move my fingers, and if I could move my hand, and if I could feel things on my hand, so to speak. Yeah? That was actually the first check they did, I think, or that I saw them do at least. But basically, he said there's a 1% chance that when they go and take the plate and screws out, they could either bruise, or in the worst case scenario, they could sever the nerve accidentally during the surgery. Because he says the nerve is it disguises quite well as the scar tissue that's going to surround it. So he said that is a risk. He said he obviously does have notes from the first surgery he did on my arm, and he knows roughly that the nerve crosses over the plate / bone at around about the 3rd screw into the arm itself. So he has a rough idea where it is. So I'm relatively comfortable that he won't cause that kind of issue for me. But I did actually ask him as well, how many times in surgery have you actually, damaged that nerve or severed it? And he did actually give me the confidence, of course, of saying that it's actually never happened in his many years of experience. But, it is a risk, guys, and that is the risk I'm mainly concerned about. Because if they do damage that nerve, or worse, like I said, worst case, sever it, basically I will lose a lot of, I'll basically lose the ability to control my hand and my wrist. It causes like a wrist drop, yeah? It causes a wrist drop, and it can take a long time for that to repair. In fact, he said that if they sever it and they manage to repair it during the surgery itself, then it takes about 1 millimeter. It goes back at about 1 millimeter per day towards the wrist and hand. So 1 millimeter all the way from up here, all the way down to the wrist and hand. So that could obviously take like a year to regain full motion of the wrist and hand, assuming that everything went well, right? So that's the main thing I'm scared about with the surgery. But at this point, I think it's pretty much a no-brainer for me that I'm going to go ahead with it. And so I'm on the waiting list right now to go under the surgery itself. And that's the second thing. I did actually ask him when I went to the private hospital. I said, "What's the what?" Because basically he said, "I want to put you on the NHS waiting list for the surgery, and that's going to be 4 months from now." And so I said, "Okay." And then I said, "What if I went private? What would be the option if I went private?" And he said, "The waiting list here is about 2 months, so you'd save about 2 months. You'd obviously have to pay quite a significant fee for private operation." But then he also said that he would really prefer if I actually did it on the NHS, because the tools and everything they have for this type of surgery at the NHS theatre are actually much better. And so he said, even if you wanted to pay for it, and even if you wanted to go private for it, I would actually recommend that we do this in the NHS theatre. Right now, as of now, guys, I am on the NHS waiting list for surgery on my arm again in 4 months from now, and hopefully that repairs the issues. But yeah, that was an extremely long story about my arm. I just realized that I've been talking non-stop for a very long time. This was meant to be a quick update video, guys, and it turned out to be a long spiel of updates. So I think I should probably end the video here. I will, like I said, we're going to try and get more content on the YouTube channel and the stream when Battle for Azeroth is launched, guys. But until then, I'm going to, keep my head down still, work on as much method stuff as possible, and before the release of the BFA alpha or beta. And I'll see you guys on stream. I'll see you guys hopefully on YouTube, although like I said, it's been a while since I posted a video. But either way, guys, I want to thank you all so much for all the continued support that you give both myself and Method itself as well. Like I said, I'm really excited for 2018, and I'm excited for life in general. So yeah, see you guys in the next video or on stream.